We know that Yoshifuji did not attend school for some time. Then how did he return to school? Well, seeing Yoshifuji was good at making things like origami and liked watching robot contest programs on TV, his mother suggested he enter an insect robot competition when he was in the first grade of junior high school. He decided to enter because nobody really knew him there. In this contest, each made an insect robot, programmed it, and competed in a race. It happened that he won this contest and came second in the national competition held the following year. But it was at this national competition where he encountered an unforgettable moment. At the site, he saw a robot riding a unicycle, and he was very impressed with it. This robot was created by Kenji Kubota, a teacher at an industrial high school in Nara Prefecture, who was also called Edison of Nara. The thought of wanting to make a robot that exceeds this robot ignited his desire to be taught by this teacher. So he returned to school and started to work really hard. And yes, he was accepted into this industrial high school. It is interesting to note that he actually lived in the same prefecture where this high school was. A coincidence like this happens in our lives, which may guide us through. There he joined a wheelchair project group under Kubota. They managed to develop a wheelchair that stays level even on bumpy roads and curbs, of which they were awarded a Minister of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology Award in JSEC, Japan Science and Engineering Challenge. Later on, the team with their special wheelchair came third with the grand award in the world's largest science convention, Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, or Intel ISEF. And participating in this event came his turning point, when he met young people like him who already knew what they wanted to do in their lives. Although it was fun making things like this, Yoshifuji realized he didn't want to do that all through his life. It happened that around the same time, he often suffered from health problems. He was gradually losing his eyesight too, and was told from the doctor that if he keeps losing his eyesight, he may become blind by the time he turns 30. Thinking he only had 13 years before going blind, he committed himself to spend his life to resolve people's loneliness, which he realized was the thing he wanted to do most. After high school, he went on to a technical school to study AI, but quit there after 10 months, as he found out that AI cannot give comfort to loneliness and only real-life people can. Recommended from an acquaintance, he entered Waseda University, one of the major universities in Japan, and also well known in the robotic field. When he was in the third year at university, he couldn't find a lab he wanted to join in. The labs there were doing just research, but Yoshifuji wanted to do research that was practicable, to make things that will help users have a better life. And so he ended up naming his own room at home Ory Lab, and started off to develop the remote-controlled avatar communication robots. Ory of Ory Lab derives from his nickname he was given when he was in university. Ory was taken from origami because he excelled in origamis, which had been his hobby since he was a child. He even set up Nara Culture Origami Society when he was 19. He still entertains people with his beautiful origami rose. Quite unbelievable, because it is rather rare for normal origami craft to have curves. Don't think that any Japanese can make this kind of origamis. It certainly is a special skill of Ory's. If you search for Yoshifuji on the internet, you will soon notice that he's always wearing black. According to Yoshifuji, this is a black lab coat instead of white. Yoshifuji seems to be a little different, and he doesn't see why things have to be done in a certain way. Although that could be one reason he was able to invent various things. He first made this black lab coat so that other people would talk to him as he couldn't talk to others from himself. He designs and makes these lab coats by himself, and so he can customize it in his own liking. We can also see how committed he was in making the robots, because he wanted the robots to be as human as possible. He thought of learning to control his own body first, and so he joined a pantomime circle and a drama circle to know more about body expressions, which he says have been very useful later on when making the robots. I'm sure, however, that he must have practiced a lot to be able to be this good. Here's another hidden skill of his. And here are a few of other creations. This is OriHime at the beginning. This is a wheelchair that moves only with eye movement. This is a wheelchair that can change positions and move only with eye movement. And the last one is a laugh, a kotatsu wheelchair. Kotatsu is a heating device used in winter in Japan. The Japanese love it because it's heaven with your legs in it. But I personally never dare have it in my home, because once you're in it, you'll never be able to get out of it. Yoshifuji is not interested in creating robots, nor is he researching robots. That's why he invented his title, Robot Communicator. Yoshifuji's project, together with OriHime, is still expanding into the future. New ideas may evolve as the environment changes, and there have been ideas like OriHime Space Flight Project, where a person with a physical disability goes off into space as OriHime. If this is realized, there will be another wonderful connection with OriHime and the stars in space, because the name OriHime derives from the legendary story in Japan of the married couple OriHime, the daughter of God, and Hikoboshi, separated from the Milky Way, allowed only to meet once a year on the 7th of July. You can actually see the two stars that symbolize them on either side of Milky Way in the starry sky. The name of the OriHime robot is likened to connecting these two that are far away from each other. The concept of OriHime is the wheelchair that carries the heart. Thanks to Yoshifuji, what has been impossible for some people is starting to become possible, and now they are able to dream just like others without limits, eventually making their dreams come true, bringing true joy to their hearts.